Hey everybody! Surprise! I'm not sure anybody's still in here. Power just came back on about 8 minutes ago. It took me that long to get everything back up and running here. So we're going to see how long it takes for other people to show up here. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't even have all my slideshows and stuff ready, so we'll see who shows up and who doesn't. So let me go ahead and bump this over here. In the meantime, while I wait for my other computer to come up. Wow. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see if hey, Tammy, power just came back on. It's been off since 4:30 this morning, and all my little rinky-dink power stations are dead, and including the backup power for the computers here. All right, let's see who else comes sliding on in here. Hey Teresa, how's it going? Just trying to get stuff up here on the other side here so I can see. Oh, wrong one. Okay, I want. Actually, I want. Close that. I want to bring up this one here. There we go. Live. Bring it up here. Wow. Hey, Kaylin. Hey, Mark. Wow. I am tired. Oh, great. I got an ad popping up right away over here. All right. So we got 7 thumbs up. And I'm not sure how many people. We got 5 people here right now. So, hey, everybody. Oh, man. So what happened last night, about 10 o'clock, I heard the snowplow go by. I go, what the heck? I go out there and it's snowing decently, and everything's just covered with snow. It's like, oh great. And then he comes by the other way, does my side, and notice that the amount of snow he's throwing off the street, it's like, holy crap. So I got my tractor started, and oh, my other computer's finally updating. Yay! So, yeah. Hang on. I'm going to try to multitask while I tell the story. So so I get mine started, and I go out there, and there's 8 inches of snow in my driveway. 8 friggin' inches. And it's like pushing back, and I'm spending time. And so I get up so far towards the end of the driveway, and it just, I can't push anymore. So I back up and I start cutting off to the side to finally get a path over to the field next to the shop. And I just start, pushing it over, make a way so I can get out into the street, because there's a problem coming up real quick here. So I get out into the street, and I cleared just the path for me to get in and out going around all the big pile I've pushed out there. And I go across the street and I start cleaning the big berm that he pushed up across in front of my daughter's driveway, because my son-in-law is at work and he's coming home. He's supposed to be home about 11 o'clock. And so I just start there. I just start working on it. And with my little tractor pushing and bucketing and everything else. And I get so much cleared out in front off to the side, and realize, dang, the snowplow went by and put up a berm there 6 feet onto the roadway. So I get it all pushed back and start pushing off the side, widening it off the side in case Andrew just has to park out in front. I get it all done, that part, and then I start going up and start cleaning the driveway. And I start going up the driveway, and I just start pushing buckets and going out and dumping it. Pushing up and loading a bucket, dumping it. I get up so far that I turn around, go up, and I start using the drag box to scrape it out. And just as I'm turning around to do this thing, he pulls up and he stops, and he sees how high the berm and everything is, and I can just see his eyes that big, and from the dash lights inside the car. and I get it cleaned up enough for him to pull up. And I push some more stuff on my side, and push the berm down so I'm able to work it, in the morning. And so I spend about an hour out there, get done with that, back it in, get my tractor cleaned up, back it into the shop and everything. Turn to I had one of the Mr. Heaters there heating it up earlier in the day because I knew that was going to happen. I wasn't planning on going out at night. I was planning on doing it in the morning. So morning, get on there, fires up, goes out there. I get probably 3/4 of my driveway cleaned up. I got these two big old piles there. I start working on them, and then it starts hailing on me. Actually, it hails on me when I'm out on the street cleaning that they came by in the night and did more stuff. And so I get the street cleaned in front of both between my house and my daughter's house, totally clean. Start pushing that berm back that they did all that stuff. Hey, Shawnee, how's it going? And so I start getting that pushed back, and it starts hailing on me. Little hail at first. And I start going faster, going as fast as I can do it. Still have power to push this stuff. And I'm just cleaning it on, and I had this jacket on. I didn't have the big hooded parka on. I had this jacket on. And all of a sudden, man, I just started just like someone threw a bucket of water on me. It was bigger hail and sleet and just, oh, damn, I'm just fighting it. And I get, just enough to clear out so my daughter can get out, because she'd mentioned earlier while I was, when I first got up there, she's making a list. She was thinking about possibly going to go shopping. And so I get that stuff pushed out of the way. And of course, the power's been out since 4:30 in the morning. And I'm just pushing things, get it cleaned out so they can get out if need be. And it's just come down to me and go, crap. And I sort of back it into my shop again, close the door on it, turn the heater back on it and stuff to keep the engine warm so I can fire it up again. And it's just coming down. And then we had some whiteout. Actually, I'm going to see if I can play this here. I haven't even had a chance to load it across yet. It's still on my Kindle here. Let's see if I can. I'm going to try to get this to play here. I'm not sure if it's going to play. Let's see if I can get this to play here. It was blowing under the cover over the patio. And so it's just totally, you can hardly see the trees in the yard there. You can hardly see the raised planter beds in the middle of the yard. And the snow's I just suddenly hit, and the snow's just dropping everywhere underneath the cover. All right. And then you can see it blowing down there. And this is just absolutely insane. And look, it's blowing around and it's sticking. Look at the snow blowing there. Look at that. That was insane. I'm in Idaho, Teresa, southeastern Idaho. Yeah, so I'm going to be posting this full video here later tonight over on Camp Patton Family Compound. But, all right, so let me go ahead and stop that. There we go. But yeah, I mean, it was just, so we had whiteout conditions for about 15 minutes this afternoon. And, of course, with no power and stuff, I'm reading a book and, reading a book, not able to do hardly anything at all. Can't work on my novels because my novels are on the computer and, no power. All right. Hey, Dustin, King Poopah's in the house. Donna Gallant's in the house. Engineer's here. Yeah, so the power just came up when I started this up. And it started about 9 minutes ago. Yeah, it's when power came up, and I was, I spent power came up about 20 minutes ago. Took me 10 minutes to get everything back up and running in here. So, yeah, it's been absolutely friggin' insane. I can't. I'm going to see if I can get my PowerPoint up here so I can actually do what was supposed to go on tonight. Hey, it's not just here. The crazy weather is not just here. California, up by Donner Pass and all the passes going through, they're expecting 12 feet of snow by Sunday. 12 feet by, and I froze. Literally, I'm freezing here. The furnace is going. I just lit the fire in the wood burning stove and I was responding back. I was saying I was texting to Courtney as I was getting the fire going. I was saying, power just came on. So yeah, I'm in southeastern Idaho between Idaho Falls and Pocatello. But they were saying that the whole southeastern Idaho went down, and there was a cascade of transformers exploding last night. Because I heard my lights in here flickered, even though I'm on a USB power source here for all my computers. The monitors flickered as the power went out for a second, came back on, the light flickered back on again, and then a couple seconds later I heard a boom. It sounded like about a mile east of here. And I'm like, oh, there went a transformer. Evidently, after I went to sleep, a couple others started going off. I was talking to the newly hired maintenance person, Brian, for the city, and he said, yeah, I heard several of them going off last night. And evidently, it was doing it here. It was doing it up in Shelley. It did it up by Idaho Falls. It did it down in Blackfoot. It did it out in Goshen. It did it down in Wapo, over in Aberdeen. I mean, it was just everywhere was just going down, like dominoes. But I was talking with the Brian when he stopped as he was plowing. He goes, "We haven't had snow this wet in entire time he's lived here in Basalt." He says, "Yeah, we had it this wet once when he lived up in Shelley, but for the last 10 years or 20 years he's been down here in Basalt, so it hasn't." So yeah, and CB is in the house. Now this isn't cloud seeding, not unless they're seeding out in the middle of the Pacific, because that's where the storm was coming from, and they've been talking about it for at least 6 days, and it's coming in, and it's an atmospheric river that did, instead of coming straight in from Hawaii, it did this and went up and then came back down the coast and in. So as it went up, all that more warm air went up and cooled off, came in, and now it's coming in from Washington down to Santa Barbara, in across coming across the coast there, and it's just being absolutely insane here. Let's see if I can get this up here real quick on this other side here. See if I can get that to restore over here. Restore pages, restore. Yeah, there's my email, and it's coming up slowly. Yeah, last night I almost sent I was working on the PowerPoint for tonight's. I was working on it yesterday. I almost said, "Oh, I'm good." I almost emailed it over from the one computer to the other computer, because if I need to, I can go. If one computer dies, that way I can go on the other one. But yeah, it was Rayman prepping, PowerPoint. Go in and look for it. Give me a second here, folks. I'm hunting. I'm going through my folders, videos, live streams, Survival Saturday, PowerPoints. There it is. Loading it to send it. So yeah, it's been absolutely insane. So I was going to go back out on my tractor again. Well, so after the whiteout, when I went out there next, there was 5 more inches of snow on my driveway where I had just cleaned it off. The road had 5 more inches on it. You could tell where a couple trucks went through. there, it dumped during that whiteout, and right after it dumped 5 friggin' inches of snow. And so I went to start my tractor up, and oh crap, dead battery. And of course the power's out, so I can't put the jumper cables, the charger on it to give it a quick charge. Oh. Oh, Mark, you went there. Oh, I can't believe you went there. Oh, shame on you. Oh, man. Oh, hey, Prepper for the Ages. Yeah, I'm running late. I'm running behind here. I'm just getting everything going. Trying to get all my stuff moved across so I can, and I froze, actually do what I wanted to do tonight. All right, let's see if it's going to show up here. I can go ahead and delete that one. There it is. Pop there. Download. Come on, let's download it. There it goes. Downloaded. That one. Download that one. That one there. Control. Put it in its proper folder. Paste. And open. Hey, we can do it. All right. It will be manned. Okay. Oh, Mark, you're on it. All right. So hang on here. Let's get this up going up here, right, guys? Control C. Control V. Post that there. And let me go ahead and close that over there. Drop that down. There's that there. Hang on. I got to get it over here, set up here so I can actually do. See if I can get this to work right here. If I close that right, that should go to this one here. Boom, 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 boom. And this one should go. Get my other monitor up here. Restore session, content. Hang on. It's YouTube subbing, slow loading on this old computer. I'm gonna have to get another new computer, but I'm gonna have to get, I just have them take this hard drive and mirror it onto the new one. This has all my editing software on it. I don't want to buy it again new. All right, let's see. I need to get stuff set up over here. And a couple more seconds. Boom. That's opening up. And of course, I'm getting that over there. All right, but come on. There we go. And come on, give it to me. Stuck. YouTube is being slow here. Come on. Dots are there. There we go. Pin message. All right. There, the link's pinned. So if you guys want to come up here and help me with it, I'm just going to cheat. Okay. And, got to do it right here. So, share screen, share the zip, boom. Share screen. Okay. So, and we go with, come on. Welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It's time for Survival Saturday. Woohoo! And tonight's topic is dealing with your vices, or deal with your vices now. And before I jump into that, there is one vice I think I've learned that we all have. I mean, we all have a vice. It's a dependence. We're addicted to it. It's called electricity. We're all addicted to electricity. Hey, Star Homestead India, how's it going? Okay, all righty. So what are the vices I'm talking about? Hey, Lewis, how's it going? I didn't see you in the side. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I got to put my earbud in. Okay.
I was lurking.
You're lurking. Good. Okay. All right. So, what vices am I talking about, people? Well, everything you see on here. And yes, I am I used to be severely addicted to donuts. I got myself broken from donuts. I got myself broken from French fries. Good. They don't have the maple bars on there. That's not a donut. That's different. A maple bar is not a donut. Hey, Julie Evans, how's it going? All right. So what are your vices? And everyone, be honest with yourself. What are your vices? I know Tammy was going to throw this one up. I can't give up caffeine. I could live in 1880, but I would not give up the coffee, the caffeine. Yeah. All right. So, all right. Got Donna says smoking. Yeah. My dad, for those that haven't heard the story about my dad was born in 1930, beginning of the Great Depression. His parents and grandparents, his parents and grandparents owned a lot of property down in Riverside County. In fact, there's several boulevards named after them down there. At 8 years old, he was running one of their gas stations because they couldn't afford to pay someone else to run it, so he would run it after school. Julie, movies. Oh, movies are good, yeah. And so yeah, and he started smoking at age 8. And that's what killed him was he got lung cancer. They chemoed him. Oh, we got rid of it. Oh, wait a minute. Now it shows up. It's showing up in your brain. Okay, they chemoed again. All right, we got rid of it out of your brain. Oh, it's in your kidneys. We can't do anything about that.
Yeah, smoking's a one for me.
Yeah.
Once in a while, alcohol.
Yeah. Gave up soda and sugars years ago. I gave up sodas a long time ago. I used to drink Orange Crush and Shasta orange and grape sodas. You couldn't get Pepsi past my lips or Coke past my lips. And I absolutely hated. I mean, if you want a projectile vomiting, just give me some 7-Up. Cool. You've cut caffeine in half the last 3 years. Hey, you're getting there. You're getting there. Wheat bread, even though the gluten's killing me. Coffee and cigarettes, or cigarettes and coffees.
Yeah, coffee is another one for me too.
Yeah. My dad and my brother drank Mountain Dew like it was milk. Or rather like it was water. Okay. Okay. And the next one, what are your vices? And then we're going to go on a whole list of vices here coming up. Are you dependent on them? Do you go nuts? Well, I love honey. I'm sorry. I love peanut butter and honey. And I need to stop it. Totally stop it. And I need to totally cut out all sugar. But so yeah, all right. Do you have to have your vices to function? No, and when the staff sergeant's here, I can do without. I tell her, if you see me getting in these, get on my case about it. And so while she's here, I can cut out the stuff. As soon as she's not here, it's like, I gotta have it. And let's see. And the next question: are your vices really healthy? Now, I know one person has a vice that is healthy. In fact, I know 2 of them. In fact, you all know, most of you know the one, Guardian Prepper. His vice is exercising. He's always exercising. And a friend of mine from over at DHS, former Army, has a bunch of videos and stuff on Facebook, and he's exercising. And he's up to some hefty weights. I'm like, holy crap. I remember when you couldn't pick up half that weight. And he's got this, he's just big, big old bar, big old weights, and it's just, yeah. Why peanut butter and honey? You've never had a peanut butter and honey sandwich? When I was growing up, my parents, my mom, peanut butter was cheap, and we made our own blackberry jam, and so my mom would give us peanut butter and jam sandwiches. I started getting a little rash now, rash from the peanuts, but when I made peanut butter and honey, some enzyme in the honey neutralized whatever was giving me the rash from the peanuts, from the peanut butter. So, yeah, so I love peanut butter and honey sandwiches. In fact, I just love peanut butter and honey in a cup. Bad boy. Hey, Daniel Barry, how's it going? YouTube is also my vice. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything bad about that. All right, so this is healthy. Not really. Not in the amounts I take peanut butter and honey when I do it. I'll go 3-4 weeks without peanut butter and honey, and then I'll go on a binger. I'll make a big old mug of peanut butter and honey, and I'll make about 10 sandwiches out of it. And I probably have like 3 or 4 sandwiches a day till that mug's gone. And here, the last line here: how much are you spending on them? That's the killer, especially for some vices. That's a major killer as far as you figure out how much you're spending on them.
Yeah, I grow one of my vices actually, and when you take a look at it come the end of the year, it's amazing. Just from buying it to growing it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. All right, so alcohol. Yeah, I've been getting down on my nieces and nephews about their alcohol use. That was hard alcohol, and then there's beer, and that's most of what my nieces and nephews do is the beer. And then, of course, there is tobacco or smoking tobacco. Like I said, my dad started at 8. He was in the hospital one time back in the late 60s, early 70 or 71, 72 maybe. And he was in a car. He was driving a well, you call them roach coaches. They were the commissary kitchen trucks for the motion picture studios, and he got T-boned by a drunk that ran a red light doing about 65 miles an hour, and he was in the hospital. Well, hospitals allowed smoking then still because doctors smoked, and he was trying to give it up, and they moved a smoker into the room with him, and they wouldn't put him in a non-smoking room, and it was just driving him nuts in there.
Oh yeah, I've tried quitting smoking a couple of times.
Then of course there's your hillbilly tobacco, chew. All right, guys, you can all put the boo comments in the side chat. Here's your caffeine drug, coffee. Why people waste the brown part of the cigarettes? Well, most of the cigarettes have a filter on in. They smoke it right up to the filter. There's no tobacco in that filter. About all you can do to that filter is put it in water, boil all the nicotine and stuff out of it, and drink it.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
But hey, Rachel. Rachel's lurking. Thank you for checking in. Now, for all of you that are prepping and love your coffee and can't do without the caffeine, question: how are you going to get your coffee in SHTF or even worse, Tuwaki? SHTF is when governments clap for at least 5 years before it can recover, and Tuwaki is 20 years before it can begin to recover. So, how are you going to get your coffee? Have you started making plans for your? Have you figured a way to deal with your vice of coffee and figure out a way to grow it in your climate? So, I mean, there's supposedly some people um, north of me here in Idaho and over into Montana who have greenhouses that are able to keep it warm enough in those greenhouses. Hey, Mark, to keep it warm enough for them to grow their coffee. So, if here's the thing. My grandmother loved coffee. She would drink coffee all the time. She tried to teach us all a lesson by letting us taste some of her coffee. Oh man, I about projectile vomited.
So my mother-in-law, rest her soul, couldn't drive, couldn't do much of anything, would have everybody pick up stuff for her at the store. Nobody knew what she really had to clean the house out. I now have enough freeze-dried Nescafe, Maxwell House, you name the instant coffee, to last me into the year 2200. And my wife's like, "Oh, it's going to expire." I'm like, "Sweetie, it's freeze-dried. It's fine." So most of that lives out at my cabin. I don't even bring coffee out there. I just throw a couple spoonfuls in some hot water and I'm good. So I'm not worried about the coffee part.
Yeah. All right, we just had ads, so it's actually been about 30 minutes since I was able to kick this off because of the power outage here. Whew. And okay, yeah, hang on. It's getting warm in here. I can actually, the furnace is heating it up, so I can actually get rid of this jacket here. Oh, whew.
I keep getting Harbor Freight commercials and the tumbler knife sharpener because I bought one.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking around here and I don't see the ads up on the. Well, I only got it up on one channel. I don't have it up on Camp Patton over here, so I don't know if Oh, all right. So, yeah. So if you have a freeze dryer and you can get your coffee cheap, freeze dry it for storage. What I'm saying is find a way to deal with it. I'm not saying you have to give up your vices. I just said deal with your vices, especially if you're planning for an SHTF or Tuwaki situation. Of course, if you're up in a area where coffee can't grow up here and you have a greenhouse and you're growing coffee, guess who you're going to be king of?
Yeah, I find that vacuum sealing coffee in mason jars does the trick too.
Yeah. All righty. So let's move on to the next one here. Okay. Everybody give me a one. If they're being honest with themselves, if you have a slight, at least a slight chocolate addiction. I love hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate. Actually, I love warm chocolate, not hot. If it's too hot, I don't like it. If it's warm chocolate, boom. But eating chocolate, oh man, my mom was the queen of fudge. She would start making fudge for Christmas presents before Thanksgiving. Before Thanksgiving, probably about the week after Halloween, she'd start making fudge. and she had light fudge, dark chip fudge, deep killer fudge. And then she had all the variants of it with walnuts, or with pecans, or with almonds, or with she actually put raisins in some of them, like chocolate chip raisin cookies or whatever, because she did it one time as an experiment, and some of her grandkids absolutely loved it. I'm not judging. If you love raisins and fudge, that's better than having chocolate covered ants.
Yeah.
Can't freeze dry it.
Oh, hold it. Jumping back to the so for those with caffeine, one way to deal with it. Okay, there you go. These can be used for caffeinated tea. They're hardy to zone 7A, but can survive 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and so even up here where I'm at, if we had a little greenhouse, we could probably grow that. But yeah, caffeine's not the big thing. Yeah. And my wife hit it off so well with my mom when she saw my mom making fudge for the first time, and found out how much fudge my mom made, and my wife would go over there to help her after work make fudge. Needless to say, my wife got along better with my mom than my older sister or my sister-in-law did. So well that when my mom kind of moved into us, we had a granny unit in back, and set it up for her. She would bring her fudge pots into our house to make fudge in our kitchen. And the two of them would be doing the fudge. And so, when my mom passed away, she probably had like 24 jars of the Kraft marshmallow cream stuff for making fudge. Yeah. And how many? Was it the sweetened condensed, or the whatever the canned milk my mom used in the fudge making as well. She had a lot of that, and so my wife got it all, as well as my mom's 2 fudge pots, the candy thermometers, and all the other fun stuff. Sugar is more addictive than cocaine, according to medical studies. Yeah, it's only, literally the difference between cocaine and sugar is just a couple molecules. It's like same. Oh, that's different. Same. Oh, that's different. All right. But I didn't put fudge up here. I put the chocolate bar up here. So, but because my wife, the staff sergeant, and my mom were so chocoholics, when we went to Disney World, there's a restaurant on a riverboat there. You got to make reservations 6 months in advance. Or at least at the time, you had to make reservations 6 months in advance, and it was black tie. You didn't have a tie, you didn't get in if you had reservations or not. And they had served this dessert called, hang on, let me drop out of here. So it's called Chocolate Decadence. It was a wedge about this wide at one end, down to about like this. So it's about like that big. And it was about that thick. About as thick as my finger. And you could tell there were like 3 layers to it. And then there was some chocolate fudge drizzled on top of it. And my mom decided to get it, just because my older brother, oldest brother said, was treating her and said, whatever you want. She goes, she looked at, the price. I said, we'll get it. He got it for her. My mom took one bite and just about fell on the floor. She goes, oh, that is intense. Oh my God. And she goes, oh, that's intense. I go to you. And so my sister was there too. And she reached over with a fork and took a bite and she starts moaning. My brother reached over and took a smaller bite than they did. And he goes, oh man. Oh. And my wife is sitting there trying to be so good. And I'm laughing because my wife's just trying to be so good. And my mom finally says, Chris, you got to try some of this. She went over and took a bite the same as the others. And her eyes, I swear, were spinning in her head. Yeah. All right. So let's get back to this. So, yeah, my wife is the chocoholic, but she's reduced it on her own, not just to reduce it, just because she, the cost. All right, now we're into the sugar sweets and the sugar candies and all the other sugar stuff. I chose this picture specifically because, seriously, people, what are we doing to our kids and grandkids at Christmas time, at Easter, at Halloween? All the stupid candy and stuff, and unfortunately, so we are making a bunch of addicts. Well, because
it's like the soda. A can of soda has like a quarter cup of sugar in it. And it's not good sugar anymore.
Yeah. Now they're using high fructose corn syrup. All right. So and so just been. Yeah, and so there's just so this sugar thing is just my wife has been canning her apricots and peaches and stuff, but she's going for these low sugar recipes. Unlike the blackberry sugar I grew up on, which we'd get it, and we're doing the blackberry jam and the sugar in it. It's like blackberry sugar. It would be they would get several 25-pound bags of sugar. Be scooping into the big old pots to make the blackberry jam. And it's like, ooh, cool. Oh, it's sweet candy. Tasting, where it crusts up around the edge of the pot and stuff as it cooks down and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Star India just said there's only 300 milliliter cola has 6 grams of sugar. Yeah, real sugar. America is the only country that your sodas and sugars and that are all high fructose corn syrups and 50 other ingredients. It's terrible.
And they'll say on it, 2 grams of sugar in it, but then it's 24 grams of high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, that's not sugar. It's by definition.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Coke. Yeah. So we've all been talking about that. Now I am going to let me drop that down for a second, and I'm going to put up I got to put something up here. I do have one that if I could, I would drink a lot of it. Let me see if I can bring it up here. Flying FLY flying C. There it is. Come on. Yeah, it's giving it to me. When I was at Scout Camp, not Scout Camp, it was Scout NYLT Camp, National Youth Leadership Training Camp. I was for the first couple courses there. I was the quartermaster, and then I was the assistant director for the program for another 7 or 8 courses. Couple of the youth leaders The adults there are there to guide the youth leaders, and the youth leaders do most of the teaching. So, but they went into Santa Cruz, and they brought back these different. I can't remember. There was a root beer one they brought back and stuff, but then they brought back this Flying Cauldrons butterscotch beer, non-alcoholic, and basically it's a cream soda. However, you treat this stuff like 250-year-old scotch. You sip it gently. The first time they gave it to me, oh, this is good. You got to take a swig of it. So I took a swig of it. I about had a coronary on the spot. My eyes spun in my head for 15 minutes. I couldn't see straight. And then I went back for my second sip. It's good. I've probably since 2004 had 24 bottles of it since 2004. So in 20 years, I don't have it that often. And the last time I had a bottle of it was before I retired in 2018. So it's been 6 years since I've had it. But I tell you, you want to tempt me, you plop one of those bottles down in front of me.
Yeah, they got a lot of those flavored beers up here, or like hard and pop, like the hard stuff up here, like root beer and ginger ale and Coke, and I think they got a cream soda one too.
Yeah. They brought back some ginger beer as well, from Santa Cruz. Virgil's root beer was the big. Oh, Virgil's actually dethroned A&W in my book. I grew up on A&W and Hires. A&W was one, Hires was number two. Everything else was a distant 10th. And Virgil's root beer dethroned A&W as number one.
Little known fact. My mom didn't know this. She was a root beer freak. She's like, I love Barks root beer. I love Barks root beer, but she can't drink caffeine. I'm like, Mom, Barks has bite. And I read the ingredients. There's caffeine. And one other soda that has caffeine in it, Sun-Kissed orange soda.
Sun-Kissed orange, yes.
Nobody thinks it does. My friend's wife was like, I just drink Sun-Kissed. I can't have caffeine. When I showed her that, because she was still going like loopy every time she drank Sun-Kissed. I'm like, you got to stop. It's got caffeine. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's why I switched to orange and grape Shasta, no caffeine. All right, let's go to the next one. What is the next one I have here? Oh yes, there we go. People mention about being addicted to Facebook, and I just did that. The prepping in private social media, limit your exposure. How many people are like, oh, look what I got for dinner. Snap, snap, post, lovely, ha, 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 tweet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is so funny, I could almost hear the screams around town today because there's no power. No power. The cell towers were out for a while. The internet was out.
Must have been zombie land. People just wander around, looking around, going, I don't know what I'm looking at because I don't have a phone.
Well, for the teenagers, yeah. For the adults, it was, all right, let's grab the snow shovels, guys. We got to get out there and shovel. This snow is insane right now.
The biggest thing I got addicted to about when I was born is dihydrogen monoxide.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I drink it by the gallon.
I love that joke. People are like, "Ew, what is that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's water."
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, hang on, guys. I'm going to left field on you guys here. This. I think you'll appreciate this though. There was a bunch of how do I put it? The grandchildren of the flower power people who are pushing all the electric vehicles and stuff, and how great they are. And I was there with someone else, and another guy there who's of like minded with me, and we were just biting our lips so hard they're almost bleeding. And someone says, "What are you guys at?" And then we you sure you don't want to hear what we have to say, because it'll ruin your entire world. It'll turn your world upside down, inside out, and cast you out into outer darkness. And they go, "What?" And then we told them about for like a Tesla, the carbon footprint of producing a Tesla compared to the carbon footprint of making a 1988 Lincoln Continental with a 429 gas guzzler engine in it, and being able to run it for 5 years and still have a small carbon footprint than it does to make that electric car.
And that's just the batteries.
Oh, they were oh no. I said, you want it? When I go, wait a minute, you guys are going about it the wrong way. Electric's fine. And they looked at me like, what do you mean? I go, all right. The majority of this carbon footprint comes from making the battery. And even though they do use slave labor, child labor out there to mine it, there's all the carbon footprint for processing, all the other stuff, all the huge excavators and stuff, all the other crap. Okay. There's something much better and simpler. You can get an internal combustion engine. Also, ready to go. Oh, yeah, an internal combustion engine that runs on hydrogen. The byproduct of that internal combustion engine running on hydrogen is crap. Say it again, Mark.
Yeah, dihydrogen monoxide.
Yeah, and they go, monoxide. That's better than no. That's dihydrogen monoxide, and it's the most ecologically sound chemical in the universe. Oh no! So I go. Do you know what dihydrogen monoxide is? And they go, what? Water, H2O, dihydrogen, and they go monoxide. And they go, yeah, the byproduct of hydrogen in an internal combustion engine is water. There was not a word spoken by them for the next 15 minutes as their brains were melting down. An internal combustion engine that produces water. Okay, back to your stuff here. All right. All right. Not very. I bet very few of you know what this is about, who these two characters are, of a very famous anime show that's been made into 2 live-action shows and a 3rd live-action show coming from it as well. But, nephew, perhaps you've had enough. And it's tea. That's Zoku and his uncle Iroh when they had a tea shop. And the series it's from is called Avatar: The Last Airbender. But there are some people, I'm not saying good or bad about this, that are addicted. I won't say addicted. They are entrenched into teas. I can count on you, Kaylin. But I mean, some of them. One of them is a relative, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I have this tea at this time, this tea at that time, this one at the other," and she goes, "I love Star Trek, but I hate Earl Grey."
Earl Grey, hot.
Yeah, and I grew up on Star Blazers and Speed Racer.
Go
Okay.
Speed Racer. Yeah.
Go Speed Racer.
Yeah,
Go Speed
we're old.
Racer.
We're old.
Go. But yeah, but Star Blazer says I loved even better than Speed Racer. Yeah, I love anime. And what surprised me is my boys got into it when I showed them Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, 5 seasons. I got it on DVD. I played it for them, and they are just absolute anime freaks now. Anyways, back to the tea. But you know, all the different teas and stuff, and I was asking my relative that's into tea. So, what about this tea? What about that tea that you're talking about? What's good? What's bad? And I go, what's bad about it? She goes, oh, what do you mean bad? Hey, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly for everything you drink, including water, especially if you're in Flint, Michigan. And when I said that, she goes, oh, okay, all right. This one, if you drink too much of this one, you can get the runs. And this one, you drink too much of it, you can plug you up. This one, you drink too much of it, you can get a really weird buzz. So, yeah. So when it comes, it's like, and like I, tell people, like I'm saying, I'm not saying tea's bad, but if you are a real teetotaler and you're really into your teas, are you able to grow your teas in an SHTF or Milwaukee situation?
You'd be amazed what's out in your garden and your woods.
Yep. All right, next one here. Oh, okay. Who's addicted to the double cheeseburger?
I am.
Only if I make it myself.
Yeah. I used to love Jack in the Box's ultimate double cheeseburger. All that cheese. Oh, double cheeseburger with bacon. Oh man.
Wimpy's.
I would get off work and I would get when I knew that Chris said it's fend for yourself night, I would stop at Jack in the Box and I would get that because that would keep me for the night and I'd give me half of it to take to work the next day.
I'm like Lewis. I can fall for a Wendy's Dave's double
Wimpy.
every now and then.
He said
Wimpy.
Wimpy.
Oh, Wimpy's.
I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Yeah, I grew up with Wimpy and Popeye. Yeah, so I knew all about that stuff. But when I was a little kid, it was the A&W drive-in. We go to A&W drive-in for Sunday dinner. And my dad would get the Papa burger, my mom would get the Mama burger, and the rest of us would get the baby burgers. Sometimes 2 baby burgers.
Yeah,
but,
I remember.
Yeah, that was those. I mean, that was the best time with A&W root beer and a hamburger.
Well, back then the food was not
a lot better.
Bad. Now, if you go to I remember growing up. You go to a McDonald's, you're eating in the parking lot with mom and dad, having a burger, a quarter pounder with cheese, whatever, and you're throwing French fry bits to the little sparrows jumping around the ground. Now, there's no birds in the parking lot anymore, and there's fries everywhere.
Yeah, the birds are all either dead or their descendants are too fat to fly.
Yeah, that was the other problem.
Yeah, I remember Wimpy's coming to Canada. I think it's an American restaurant.
Yeah.
So I remember it coming to Canada about 20 some years ago. Their burgers were huge.
Yeah. Yeah. The A&W driving was the best time of my youth. All right, next one here. how many people are addicted to certain TV shows like As the World Turns, So Are the Days of Our Lives, With All My Children, With the Young and the Restless, With Just One Life to Live, Following That Guiding Light. My grandmother, of course, for the younger generations, it's after night with Big Brother, all the different reality TV shows which aren't real at all.
Can't forget General Hospital.
Oh, that's where they wind up after they follow the guiding light off the cliff. Rachel nailed. I'm addicted to books. All right, yeah.
I'm addicted to a couple of YouTube channels, and I just always happen to get on him every time he goes live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my grandmother was an avid reader. When she wasn't knitting, she was reading. She had all the Edgar Rice Burroughs books. She had all of the Arthur Conan Doyle books. And I mean, she had all these, and she had all the Perry Mason books as well. And when I stay up there at summertime, I read some of them. That's how I got hooked on Tarzan. And then John Carter of Mars and stuff like that. But then by the time I was in my 20s, she was reading all of these raunchy romance novels. My wife picked one of them up one time, looked at it, and she, oh my God, this is X-rated. At the time, my grandmother was in her late 80s. Meant Lycaba. All right. I'm going to go and hide that one down there. All right. So, how many are addicted to TV shows and movies and stuff on the TV? Yeah. Okay. Ice cream. Who here who has a vice of ice cream?
Yeah. Okay. I got one.
Yeah. My wife has pretty much cured me of it. Yeah.
Those Haagen-Dazs containers, that's a serving, right?
the little half pints, the pints, the quarts, the half gallon, or the 5 gallon tub.
Oh, the half gallon. That's a serving, right?
Okay. Well, all right. What you're looking at here is from Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor in San Jose, California. This is called the Zoo. It's 7 pounds of ice cream with bananas, 6 different syrups in there, sprinkles, cherries, whipped cream, an entire can of whipped cream. And they have a wall up there that says, I ate the zoo. And there's all these people's names on it for someone who sat down by themselves and ate one of those. My cousin's name was up there 4 times. Farrell's also had a sandwich called the Gastronomical Delicatessen Epicurean's Delight. It was a 3-foot long hoagie. He also ate one of those too.
We had one in Jersey called Jan's, and you'd order the kitchen sink.
Yeah,
and everybody wanted it, but it was the worst ever. They put in all the ice creams that nobody else would eat.
Yeah. There was a place, I can't remember the name of it, down in Southern California in La Crescenta. We'd go there. They'd have this monster malt called the Awful Awful. It was awful big and it was awful good. And if you ate, if you had one of those in one sitting, nobody else helped you, they'd give you a card and punch it, with a special star punch they had. And when you had 5 punches of that special star punch, you got a free one.
Oh, you have that, huh?
As a teenager, my brother and I both got him a couple times. Okay. I threw this one in here because this is a vice most people don't realize they have.
Processed food.
Yeah. Not just processed food. Everything in here you see has high fructose corn syrup in it, including the Thousand Island, the fat-free Catalina dressing, the peanut butter, the Aunt Jemima. Yeah, everything in there is high fructose corn syrup.
I read labels on everything, every store I go now, and aside from the contains a GMO, which I just put back on the shelf, the rest of them, yeah, it's all corn syrup and that. But if you go to Europe and buy like a box of Frosted Flakes, there's 4 ingredients in it. Over here, there's 27.
Yeah. I'm a little more cautious on what I buy at the store too, that way.
All right, I'm looking something up here.
Yeah, there's nothing like a big can of chunky soup.
Nah, Chef Boyardee ravioli, man. That's the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Grew up on that stuff.
Where is it? Is this it? Yes. Signature Select. Okay. So up here in Idaho, I love my bologna sandwiches, which I've gotten away from mainly, but every once in a while I'll get a pound of bologna and it'll last me several weeks making bologna sandwiches. It gets the mayonnaise on it, which I've now gone away from Best Foods because its number one ingredient is soy oil. I've gone to some avocado oil mayonnaise. Thank you, Dr. Paula Ruffin, for recommending that. So I put the mayonnaise on it. I put relish on one side. I put a little mustard on the other side on top of the mayonnaise. Put my bologna in it, put it together, and that is heaven for me. I don't have it very often. But then I read the ingredients on the relish that I picked up at Wally World. I've just about pooped my pants on what it, and that, it's like you're reading it on, picking it. High fructose corn syrup, right up there, more than vinegar. It's like crap.
Diced cucumbers, high fructose corn syrup, vinegar, salt, maltodextrin extract, and herbs and spices. Make your own.
Yeah. Let me find that. Okay, do I bring that up and go? Hey, I get one more thing on. So I started going around to all the stores up here. I even at Walmart. I went to back to Walmart. I went to every brand of relish they had there. All of them, high fructose corn syrup. Then I went over to Winco. Figure, okay, Winco has been bringing stuff in that doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it. Every brand they had there, high fructose corn syrup. Then I went to Brolam's up here, which is a regional store, and they try to do. They were trying to do healthy food. They get a lot of stuff from Food Club, brand. Even the Food Club brand, which has a lot, is usually fairly safe to get stuff high fructose corn syrup on it. I was just getting so. Where can I get something that doesn't have sugar? Is fine. No high fructose corn syrup, because sugar is going bad up. Sugar's up here when it comes for bad. High fructose corn syrup. There it is. It's up there.
So I've said this before on one of your other streams. There's 2 types of sugar out there. There is pure cane sugar, which does not need to be modified in any way because it doesn't have a problem with bugs. And then there's sugar beet sugar, which is your generic sugar, which comes from sugar beets, and they spray the fields with substances that you don't want. So if you're going to use sugar in anything, the only one I know of is Domino. Not that I want to push any particular brand, but it's pure cane sugar. If that's not in it, it's sugar beet sugar, and they should list it as, GMO, whatever, but they don't.
Yeah. Okay. This is getting me mad here. Everything else I've ever looked up, and I've looked for the trying to find the ingredients on it. You get the picture front. You get the picture of the front of it, of the sweet relish, but it's not showing me the ingredients. This is the only one, Signature Select, which is carried. Vaughn's, Safeway, Albertsons, Lucky carries Signature Select. It's the only one that does not have high fructose corn syrup that I've been able to find so far.
You could make your own.
That's the plan.
There you go.
But until I do, I stock this because my grandsons caught me having a bologna sandwich. And guess what grandsons do?
Bribery.
Grandpa, can I have a bite? Danny, number 3 grandson. Oh, this is so good. And of course, I only get 100% beef bologna when I do it. I hate the chicken bologna. I hate the pork, the mixed meat with the pork bologna in it, the pork in it. I don't like the turkey. Well, his dad went, when I was watching him this last week, they were bugging their mom for the bologna, and his dad went to the store to get the bologna to have, so grandpa could make them bologna sandwiches. So they like the way grandpa makes it, not the way their dad makes it or the way their mom makes it. He got a package of the all beef, and he got a package of the turkey because it was a third of the cost. Yeah. Danny, when I pulled out the mayonnaise. I pulled out the bologna. He goes, "Don't forget the relish." I pulled out the relish. I made it. But I grabbed by accident the turkey bologna that his dad had bought. He took about 4 bites of it and said he didn't want any more. And it took about an hour to get it out of him that he hates the turkey, that he hated that bologna. Something's wrong with that bologna. It's not right. And then I realized it was the turkey bologna.
You want good bologna? Try the Boar's Head garlic bologna if you can find it.
Yeah.
Thin slice on a roll. Oh, yeah. That's my downfall.
Yeah. But, hey, guys, there's one of my vices that I don't have very often. But if I have bologna, it's got to have mayonnaise. It's got to have a little French's mustard on it. It's got to have Safeway Select relish on it. Sweet relish, not dill. And it's got to be Oscar Mayer beef bologna or another all beef bologna. Yep. So I am working with some of the people around here to find out who makes bologna and stuff, from grass-fed beef. And,
find a German butcher.
Well, there's several butchers around here. There's a lot of butchers around here. But so people have been getting names for me, and so this summer I'm going to be talking to these guys and find out if they make bologna, and I'm going to see if I can find one that makes it without the sodium nitrate in it. All right. So the next one here, we got some more vices. This next vice is could be a sore subject with a lot of people. Gambling. And because it covers such a wide field of stuff, there are people that gamble with cards. There are people that gamble with roulette. Dice in the crap table. There are people that bet on horses, people that bet on football teams, bet on boxing, bet on anything else. And the best example of it, I really couldn't find him the thing on it. I was going to stick it in there for it. Did I find it or not? No, I did not find it. How many saw the Bruce Lee movie Enter the Dragon?
Yep.
Who remembers the Bruce Lee movie Enter the Dragon?
Yep.
The character played by John Saxon. I just had a brain fart. I can't remember what his character's name was. But he was always going, want to bet? He'd bet on anything. He'd bet on the praying mantises fight. He'd bet on whether or not he could beat, he could beat one of the guys in the martial arts contest. He was betting on golf games. He was betting on, playing golf. He bet on anything. And and a lot of times somebody says, "Well, you can't do that." He goes, "Do you want to bet?" Unfortunately, there are some people like that who will bet on anything. And most of them I know are no longer married. Either him or her. No longer married. That's a vice that can ruin marriages.
That could ruin your preps too.
Yes. All of a sudden you don't have the money for your preps. All of a sudden you bet your preps away.
You bet your preps away because I'll bet you all my food stores that I can do this, and you don't win it. And okay, now I have no food stores left.
Yeah. Or I will bet you my new Pew Pew I just got.
Yeah.
It's the latest and greatest one that just came out. All right. So, are you doing multiple vices? And so these are just some of the ones that I ran over here. Hard alcohol, beer, tobacco, both smoking and chewing. Coffee, chocolate, hot chocolate. Oh, I love hot chocolate. Gambling, tea, sugar, soda, fast foods, soap operas, social media, HFC, high fructose corn syrups, ice cream, other foods, and other additives that you don't know that are making you addictive to certain things. We're not going there. Prepping dinner, can you drop that out of there? I was having problems with YouTube. Yeah, just go ahead and retract that, please. We're not mentioning the D word that people wind up on, and don't want to talk about the S or P word. They were giving me problems. I had to take a bunch of stuff off the my tabs I was putting up there because they didn't want to monetize it.
So there's one addiction you didn't bring up. Actually,
there were several I didn't bring up because YouTube.
No. This is not a YouTube violation. You actually put pictures on a screen and went looking for other things. Shopping is an addiction.
Oh yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
All the TV places that you go. My aunt fell victim to that, to the home shopping networks that were on TV back in the day. She bought everything, and it ruined her.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, that's my big dog.
Yeah. So the main thing about tonight is all these vices I mentioned are some, some people are going to stick to them no matter what. A couple of them that you really shouldn't, like gambling.
How are you going to handle it?
But the others is if you're going to, like, if you're going to, you say, I got to have my coffee. How are you dealing with it? Are you dealing with the situation so you always have what you need to have, so you don't go as Darren, I always mispronounce his name, Semester on Facebook. He's Forge and something or other down under. He posts stuff. He goes, I don't drink too much coffee. I drink just enough not to kill people.
Yeah, I gave up coffee once. My court date is pending.
Exactly. That works. All right. Adult activities work. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Thank you very much. Because the AI is not going to pick up on what adult activities are. But there's so basically now that it's monetized and it goes out, now I can sneak the tags back in. And
so basically, if the power goes out and you got nothing, how are you going to deal with all the things you were used to having? That's the whole bottom line of your show here. Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, that's the other thing too. When I started the show off, when I first came in, it's like, as people are starting to come in, it's like, I found the new addiction or a new vice. It's called electricity. It's called the basics. Yeah, and yeah, it's like one of the things is I'm kicking myself over right now a bunch, and I'm gonna be and the other part of it is I gotta be talking to the staff sergeant on. I already talked to my daughter and her husband on it. One of the things I'm gonna be doing is I got to get my solar panels up. I had since before I bought the place, I have like 2,500 watt solar panels. Jeez, what are you waiting for? Put it in the right place, because I thought where I was going to do it. I said, oh, I'm going to put solar powers up here, and I got told, no way. And the hammer came down. I go, okay, where can I put them up? Let me think about it. And every time I mention it, let me think about it. So yeah, it's one of those pending things. When we find the right place to put it, put those panels, because basically when the panels go up, they're not just going up rigid. They're not going to go on the roof of the house because the slope isn't steep enough to keep them clean. Even the house across the street, it's not steep enough to keep it clean. Hey, Josh, how's it going? Skinner Farms is in the house. And so the panels are going to set up so they can track the sun. And when I hit the snow button, they go blip. Not only, all right, so basically they're like this. They'll track the sun and everything else. And when I hit snow, they go a little bit that way. So when there's no snow, then they tip back and they start tracking the sun again, and they are clean.
That's a real good idea.
And not only do they track the sun this way, they track the sun this way. So with those 2,500 watt panels, they will start in the morning. They go track the sun all through the day, and at night go and get ready for the morning. Just go get a whole bunch of Rain-X. Do it twice a year. Keep the dust, dirt, and snow will slide right off. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so electricity is another vice we all have, whether we want to admit it or not. My daughter had oil lamps down in the basement, but unfortunately her lovely darling angels, my grandsons, when she brought them out once, they were trying to play with the oil lamps. So I told her, the next time she buys any oil lamps, she needs to get the ones. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. This is the best type oil lamp to have, in my opinion, of 50 years of dealing with it. So let's see. I know one place they sell them.
A hurricane lantern?
No, close though. Okay. Oil, LAMP. Oil lamps. Come on. Okay. The ones up here aren't selling it. Dang it. All right. Let me go. Let me see.
What'd they do 150 years ago?
Yeah.
You run out of oil, you go slaughter a pig, you have dinner, render the fat, you have light. And it smells like bacon.
Yeah, that rendered fat's really good to cook with.
Okay. Yeah, Wally World's no longer carrying these, and I've got some of them out of me back here. I'm going to do a different little look at it here. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of it. Close, close, close. There we go. Lehman's has it. Lehman's has a nice one. Here we go. I got a bunch of these. I bought probably a dozen for my mom and dad over the years. But so basically, it hangs on the wall up there with that little screw. And out of reach of little kids, because at the time I was buying them for my mom and dad, my brother was popping out babies. Oh, my brother's wife was popping out babies. 7 of them. And my sister was popping out babies. 5 of them. And with all those little grandkids running around, these were mounted up on the wall. So the grandkids couldn't touch them. But when the power went out there, thank you very much, Pete, Pacific Gas and Electric Company. They had oil lamps in all the rooms.
That's the original sconce.
Yeah, but really nice. And that on the hangers here, after I got them, my dad took the metal disc here to work and did some. He was a machinist and stuff, and had all nice and stuff. And he polished it and treated it, and it was like chrome. Yeah, so it had a nice reflection on it. Aren't your houses made of paper and wood or wood? Hey, didn't matter. These were hung on the wood paneling, but because of this, the distance away from it, there were these reflectors never got hot at all ever, but they did reflect a lot of light, so that helped out. I mean, so if you're worrying about light during the power outage, like we just had up here for it was 14 hours we were without power here. So that's what you can go with.
You can only run that cell phone flashlight for so long.
Oh, I didn't run the cell phone flashlight at all.
There it is.
Home Depot, Husky. That one's bright. And even brighter. I had that one. I had my other one here. Oh wow! And of course, I almost erased my memory a couple times. Look right here. I got a new story to tell you. And of course, all my blue ones, which were on everywhere. And then what was weird. When I woke up at 4:30 this morning, I woke up and looked at the ceiling. It's like, why is it? It doesn't feel like this morning. Why is it light in here? I have the plug, the Ever Ready plug-in flashlights that come on when the power goes out. And so I had 2 there in the master bedroom, and they were shining up at the ceiling. I'm like, why is it light? And I look over the clock. Why is the clock not on? I realized, wait a minute, why is my CPAP not pumping air to me? So, yeah. Oh. But yeah, the next thing I got to do is I got to talk to the wife, and we're going to get I'm going to talk to her about hey, let's get one of these new modern, lithium iron phosphate battery power stations that plug into the wall, as well as being, it has the built-in charger to it, so you can plug it in and it will charge off the wall rather quickly, and it'll stay charged, and you can just leave it in and it'll trickle charge and do battery maintenance on it so it doesn't ruin the battery. And when the power goes out, I can just plug everything into it real quick. Plug the refrigerator, the chest freezer, and the furnace into it.
You don't have a gas generator?
I got a gas generator out in the shop. It's a tri-fuel, but it's like crap. I'm gonna have to leave I haven't wired the house to have an outside plug, and then and have it inside. So I have to leave the door or window open. And the way that snow is blowing around, So
drill a hole, run an extension cord or cable, and silicone it up.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole, put on the weather flange on it, the weather flange plug, run it in, hook up the special breakers in the breaker box with the slide bar. So I got to turn off the city the Rocky Mountain power. Then it'll drop down, and I can turn on the other breaker feeding from the generator, and that way the generator can stay out under the cover, running away, and I can charge everything. Turn it off, turn everything on. Run the chest freezer, the refrigerator, and the furnace for a half an hour, then turn it off for several hours. Because not running the furnace today, it went from 66 degrees in the kitchen down to 61 by the time the power came back on. It's probably just getting ready to drop down into 60 degrees. And you consider I have that much snow on top of the roof. Yeah. Ooh, which reminds me, I gotta go turn on the heat tape again, because I just turned on the heat tape last night and to keep everything flowing. All right, folks. So, anybody have any other ideas of vices that we need to deal with one way or another, for SHTF or Tawaki?
Baked goods.
Baked goods?
Close, Kaylin. I can run gasoline, propane, or natural gas. Now that I have natural gas in the house, I'm going to be putting a stub out the side there, so I can just hook it right up to natural gas, and I'll just leave it there with a cover on it ready to go, and I'll probably never have to use the gasoline again. I'll drain the tank and drain it all out, and not have to worry about gasoline in the tank. I'll just run on natural gas, and if there's a problem in the natural gas supply for a little bit, I got propane. Cheese. Oh, my wife says I'm addicted to cheese too. I love my Tillamook sharp cheddar cheese. Oh yeah. And I would cut that so paper thin it drove her nuts, because I would cut it really thin, and then I would have it so I have a square. Now if you quarter those squares, it's the exact same size to go on a saltine cracker. If I really wanted to kick it up, I would pop open the thing of pepperoni and put a slice of pepperoni on it. But I just my youngest son loves cheese and crackers too. Drives my wife nuts sometimes. You guys are spending so much money on cheese and crackers, and I can tell her, look at the ingredients in the crackers we're getting. Nothing bad in there. Look at the ingredients on the cheese. Oh, nothing bad in there. And we're not eating all this high fructose corn syrup, sugar, and all this other crap candy you don't want us to eat. And she'll go, and she goes, she begrudgingly goes, whatever. And I just love her when she does that because she knows I thought it out. But yeah, cheese and crackers is absolutely fabulous. If you look at high society, what is a lot of stuff they serve on their hors d'oeuvres and stuff? They'll have their cracker with cheese and some fish eggs on it.
Yum, not.
I'm sorry, I just can't remember the caviar. Their caviar on it. They're black Russian caviar.
Yeah, the movie
or
Big.
Or those, of course, nowadays they'll have their cracker, the cheese, and a piece of avocado or something else on it. Hey, I'm ahead of the time. But yeah, cheese in our house is, oh yeah. And I've learned after I got my last bag of cheese, of grated cheese, which is going to be my last bag ever gotten, that they treat it with a fungicide that is supposed to be used by prescription only, and they use it for treating fungus for your eyes and stuff, but it's prescription only, even though it's all natural. It's a natural fungicide. It's prescription only, but the food industry is allowed to put it on the spray it on the grated cheese to keep it from molding. Think about that, folks. Yeah, it's when this last bag of cheese is gone. I'm not going to throw it out. I'm sorry, it costs too much. When it's gone, it's gone.
Now you got me thinking about that freeze-dried shredded cheese.
Did you freeze dried?
Oh yeah,
grated cheese.
Yep, shredded cheddar. Freeze dry it. It's like crumbles.
Yeah,
I can actually put it in a food processor, turn it to a powder, and sprinkle it on popcorn. Mix it in the sauce.
But was that grated before you? Was it grated?
Yeah,
from the. It was grated.
Shredded. Yeah, it was shredded bags of shredded cheddar and shredded cheddar jack.
Yeah. So
mozzarella.
So now's the thing that everybody you buy your mozzarella, your jack, your Munster, whatever it is, and you grate it yourself. You grate it, like a quart bag worth of it. Put it, and then you use that. Then you grate it. Then you run it through the grater and do the next bag. Frog eggs.
Frog eggs.
You have a vice of eating frog eggs, Star. Well, that's probably like some of the people from the Philippines liking to like to eat the
stink bugs.
Balut. No, balut. Mm. Sorry, to each their own. But frog eggs is something you can grow the frogs. You can get your frog eggs, so that's something you can deal with in SHTF. And if you have other people who have a bigger vice on eating it than you do, you can make money selling it to them.
It's just like clear jelly floating in a pond.
Aren't frog eggs called as caviar? No, caviar, as far as I know.
There's some sort of fish eggs.
Yeah, caviar comes from mostly sturgeon and then salmon. And other fish, but sturgeon is the big one. Russian caviar, sturgeon.
Traditionally, the term caviar refers only to roe from wild sturgeon in the Caspian Sea and Black Sea. Beluga, Osetra and Sterverga caviars. The term
Both
caviar
sturgeon.
can also describe the roe of other species of sturgeon or other fish such as paddlefish, salmon, steelhead, trout, lumpfish, whitefish, or carp.
The expensive stuff comes from the Black Sea.
Yeah, the Black Sea, and the next is from the Caspian Sea.
Yep. Big sturgeon, like 12 feet long. Not many left.
Yeah. They got to start doing it right. They raise the fish, they harvest from the fish alive, and return the fish to they can do it again next year.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Maybe they can get whale oil the same way.
Yeah, you just go out there and milk the whales.
Yeah.
Get that whale oil.
Let me get some bull milk. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you knew where I was going with that one. Sorry.
I was going to go there. I was going to go there too.
This is why you let me on here, because I'm going to say the things that you're thinking about.
There was a movie I grew up watching called What a Way to Go. It had Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, Dick Van Dyke, and I'm trying to remember the female in it. I believe it's What a Way to Go. Yes, Robert Mitchum, Paul Newman, Gene Kelly, Robert Cummings as well, and the lead was Shirley MacLaine. And everyone that married her died a different way. They were poor when they married her. She made a suggestion. They became very rich, and they died. And she was going absolutely nuts. She was seeing psychiatrists and stuff. Why is this happening to me? Blah, blah, blah. It was either Dean Martin or Robert Mitchum that got drunk one time and went out to milk the cow.
Ooh.
Yes, and then and you hear him go in the bar. I was hearing this, whoa, thump. And then the next scene is at a funeral. What a way to go. 1964 comedy romance. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here now. We've covered hopefully I covered the topic well enough and in a way that you guys enjoyed it and gave you food for thought of what to think about. You know, your vices, even though it's a vice, doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. But do you have a way to, so you don't go cold turkey in SHTF or Tawaki? And some of the vices are things, personally, I think you really should get rid of now while you can. Just for your health. High fructose corn syrup, sugar. Anyways, I didn't list the others on there. I didn't list deep fried food.
Yummy.
And what type of oil are you frying it in? Is it partially hydrogenated? Is all this ultra processed oil so it doesn't burn? You can cook it at higher temperatures and it doesn't smoke and flame up and everything on you. Avoid those at all costs.
Beef lard makes great French fries.
Mm-hmm. And if you want bacon French fries, you use pork lard.
Yep.
And if you want to do the Mediterranean diet, you use olive oil. And just cook it at a lower temperature for a little bit longer. All right, everyone. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you for your comments in the side chat. Thank you, Lewis and Mark, for coming up here and helping me out here. And the power is still on. And, I got to go see what's wrong with the thermostat because it says it's 74 degrees in here now, and it should have shut off already a long time ago. All right, folks. Stay happy. Stay safe. Keep adding to your preps. Learn a new skill and grow something during this winter because the winter is not over. As demonstrated by here in Idaho, where we had snowstorms so bad, it was whiteout conditions and it dumped at least from last night to tonight, at least 10 inches of snow out there. All right. Take care, everyone. See you around.
Have a good night.
See you, Gil. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.